You guys, hello, my beautiful butterflies, and welcome back to another video. This one is not gonna be easy. Y'all already see the title, so this one is not gonna be easy. This is literally like the fourth time I started recording this video, y'all. So just bear with me because it's funny. I have talked about this part of my life many times, but I've never talked about it on camera. And noting that, I have a little bit of eyes on me now, it's like, all right, Chrissy, it's time to be transparent. I'm so adamant about other people putting their truth, on here. And not just focusing on other people. So I feel as though it's important that, you know, I give you my story. I want to tell this story to encourage others. You might be currently dealing with a drug addiction. You might know someone else who is dealing with a drug addiction. Please, if watching this video and you know someone who has a drug problem, please send them this video. I want to encourage people to understand that change is not only possible, but it's real. And you can get to the other side. Is different ways, you feel what I'm saying? And my road to recovery wasn't the traditional way. It wasn't going to NA. And so, I don't know, you might relate. So let me tell you from the beginning. Let me tell you my story. And before I get into my story, I'm going to do like my OG, Ace the OG always said, let's get a little admin in. And y'all, I am filled with just so much joy. I am, just to watch my channel grow. Even a piece of seeing, because like I had 50 and then 2 people unsubscribed, and then I think a third person unsubscribed, and I had to say, to myself, like, you want to have a community of people with like minds, and if I'm not resonate with you, that is absolutely fine. You know what I mean? I don't want to build a channel just based off views and likes. Hold on, let me fix this. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to work on doing better video and, fixing the focus, because I be noticing when I'm editing, the focus be going in and out. But anyway, yeah, so I just want to thank all of my new subscribers. I want to thank all my subscribers who decided to stay my subscribers. You, listen, if you're still my subscribers, then you are part of the Butterfly Squad. I'm sorry, y'all not subscribers. Y'all are the Butterfly Squad. Y'all are my butterflies. And so if you decided to stay a part of the Butterfly Squad, squad up, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I am just filled with so much joy. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like. If you learned something from this video, if you feel like somebody else can learn something from this video, please make sure you hit that like button. And listen, don't forget to hit that bell icon, because you gotta know when your girl gonna upload. Feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm uploading every day. Every day we is reaching that 1,000 subscriber goal. The only days that I am not uploading is on Sundays. Now, I'm not going to guarantee multiple uploads daily, but I'm going to guarantee an upload daily. Okay? We got more videos in as we do. Now, I'm not going to forget that, yes, today is Rant Day Wednesday. So we will definitely be sending out a rant video. And listen, I need y'all to tell me if y'all want me to do Rant Day Wednesday live. Okay? Now, I get enough people leaving comments, enough people saying they want me to do Rant Day Wednesday live, then we'll do it live. Until then, I'm going ahead and record my rant. I'm going to record my rant, and we just going to drop that thing on Wednesdays now. I need y'all to put in the comments to let me know if y'all want to tape, if y'all want to go live. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with it. I'm just not about to go live, and ain't nobody going live. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all ain't going to show up. I ain't going live. There's something wrong with my straw in here, y'all. When I tell you it's irking my soul, I've been trying to fix the straw on this doggone cup. It's irking my soul. Anyway, you guys, so listen. Yes. To be honest with you guys, I have only been clean for maybe 7 or 8 years. about 7 or 8 years. And the reason why I don't know like the exact time is really has a lot to do with the fact that I didn't go through do the same method as like typical NA, AA, and all those. Um, I very much believe in holistic healing, and that includes psychedelics and marijuana. That's my true belief, and I can care less what anybody else think. All right, so we're gonna take this thing back. The very first time that I had tried powder in any capacity, and let me tell you what's so crazy about me ended up being an addict. I was judgmental of other addicts. Oh, I was so judgmental of other addicts. If you did anything harder than weed, and even weed, I like sometimes I wasn't like tolerant. And I don't know, I wasn't tolerant to weed that much because I was jealous. Cause y'all, every time I did try to take a hit of weed, y'all, I would get so sick. I would vomit. It would just be like, oh, it's not meant for me. I would have an asthma attack and everything. It was, oh, my sister Muffy can tell you some stories, honey. But yeah, so at this point now, I'm living in a shelter. I have been through from childhood molestation to outright just rape. I've been through assault. Um, I have dealt with being okay, you guys. I had to get myself together. I felt me like going into a whole panic attack. Um, I have been gang raped. I have been through a lot. I was sexually abused by two different family members. One when I was a real little girl, and another who was my favorite uncle started molesting me at 15, the same day my father passed. So I had a lot of trauma bound up in me, a lot of trauma, um, and still was dealing with the death of my father. My father was my best friend, even though I don't really believe in like parent-child best friend, but my dad was the type I could tell anything to. Like he was born to be a girl dad. That's why he had three girls. My dad didn't have any boys. I'm the oldest. I got two younger sisters. I think I told y'all before, but he was destined to be a girl dad. Like he was the best girl dad ever. You feel what I'm saying? And losing him felt like losing a part of myself. And my mother was like, the disciplinarian, everything by the Bible, spare the rod, spoil the child, and being as though I was the oldest, I'm an experiment kid. So me and my mom relationship wasn't, that great at the time of my father's passing. So I was very broken. And by the time I came to my best friend, I thought I was healed. And you don't really realize how broken you are until you put in a place for it to have to come through. And I met my best friend. We was living God. Oh my God, y'all. So we met living in a shelter. It was a privately owned shelter, so it wasn't like the typical type of shelter. Like you technically only in the shelter for like 30 days. It was called People Emergency Center in Philadelphia, PEC for short. And oh my God, it was an experience living there. We lived there both for about 2 years. It had their own transitional housing, so and I was high risk with my pregnant with my son, so I had to go from being supervised transitional, and then once I had my son, I went around a quarter to unsupervised transitional, and that's when me and Bria started developing a relationship and started getting closer. At that time, she was born and raised Muslim, and so she was always like garbed up. And at that time, I took my shahada, which was the craziest thing because, like, I was really judgmental. Like, didn't understand that I was judgmental, but just growing up in church, you know, like you think this one way, and then I started wondering, like, am I a Christian because I'm supposed to be a Christian? You feel what I'm saying? Or, what was going on. So I was on search of, like, faith and religion, and at the same time, looking for numbness. The only time that I ever felt empowered or And it'd be crazy is when I was manic, you know, and I had people emotions in my hand, and I'm starting to get older, and mania was I didn't know how to handle it. I hated my psych meds because it made me feel numb and like not and void. Um, and didn't know at the time because I was on psych meds for so long. When I started using drugs, it was really my my mind looking for medication. It was really my body looking for medication to settle the nerves that was going insane in my brain. And soon as I took that first hit, yo, I went with my cousin over to one of, at the time, her best friend house. And my best friend at the time was like, girl, you ever tried this? And I'm like, yeah, girl, what you talking about? Pass that thing. Yo, straight to the moon, y'all. Straight to the moon, yo. And the thing about it is that, you know, it's easy to hide. You know what I mean? It's not like, we smell it all over you. You feel what I'm saying? We carved up. Like, that ain't a good look. You feel me? So it got to a point where I was just able to hide it easily. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something that helped me feel free everywhere I went. I didn't know it at the time, but when I think back on it, that's what I was looking for. I still value the thing in freedom. I just find it in a whole different way. But the first time I took a hit of that, I can't tell you what we did for that week. I can tell you that things spiraled out of control really fast. Like, really fast. It's still spaces and memories that I don't remember during that time. My addiction lasted for a good 6, 7 years strong. Um, my addiction is the reason why I ended up in jail, how I ended up getting caught up in so many unnecessary things, you know. I was so broken and so lost. And when you find a community to do the things that you do, it's easy to not pay pain and things you're going through any mind. But before you look up, you realize that you're doing any and everything for this bag. It don't even have nothing to do with escaping from your pain of the past or what you've gone through. Now it's literally all about just, I need to get high. So after we left the shelter, Bria ended up getting Section 8, which I was so jealous about. Because I end up, y'all, in the projects. My baby boy was 2. My oldest son was 7. The twins were 12. And we ended up in this, in the projects. And let me tell you what projects I ended up in. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day when Diddy was doing the making of the band, and there was an artist on there called Ellie and Ness. And Ellie and Ness always talked about coming from where, y'all? Come on. Bartram Village. Yes, we call it Gilligan Island, y'all. It's so funny. Just recently, my son had rolled past Bartram Village, and he called me on video time and was like, yo, Mom, they closing Bartram Village. Like, they going to tear it down and rebuild it. And so he drove around and went into places he was able to get in, and then he would get out the car, and he walked around to where we used to live at, and he showed me areas I didn't even know he ever went to and was gone. Bartram Village is a... I have some memories that's really good and really fun, but it was one of the darkest times in my life. It was when my addiction went from a party drug into every single check. Like, I never forget my daughters stealing my food stamp card so they can get to Save a Lot and food shop for the house before I owed the stamps to the dope man. Or even how I, oh my God, like, I remember I remember, yo. And if you ever dealt with addiction in any kind of way, just put your hands up. Put the, the hand up. Just put your hand up. I too, but it just, because I'm telling you, it can take you, it's like an outer body experience. And it's like you asking yourself every day, like, how many days you want to wake up and keep destroying yourself? My very first rock bottom, because if you're an addict, it's not, the first one ain't just the one. My very first rock bottom, it was a snowstorm. I will never forget. It was a blizzard. It was a snowstorm. And I had walked really, really far. Really far. Really far. And all I had was on, I think it was and y'all tell me if y'all remember these coats. I cannot remember the name of these coats to save my life, but the inside was like this real thick fur, and the outside was leather. And all I know was I did not have to have a sweater on, or I would have sweat to death with this coat on. All I had was a white beater on underneath it, and it was zipped all the way up. And I know I had some jeans with some long johns and some boots. And I calling my dealer, begging him not to leave. A snowstorm coming in. I'm begging him not to leave. Now, I done already done all my money. I done wiped it all out. Now, I am in the middle of the night walking to get $20. I walked far. By the time I got back, my dope to the left, stopped answering the phone, and I'm standing out in the freezing cold, and I come in the house and realize I just left my baby in here. My baby was still, he wasn't even asleep. Like, to run out here for some doggone, I never forget. And I called my mom and I told my mom I had a problem and that I needed help. And I got my babies up in the middle of the night and took the trolley from Southwest to North Philly to get help. That was the first time. It was also the same time that my sister said that she gave up on me. And my sister said she lost all respect for me at that day. And I get it, but I was broken. I was so broken. And what hurt it the most is no one seen how broken I was. It was just always felt as though that you just need to get over it without doing the work of healing, which it doesn't work that way. My bad, you guys. Phone ringed. Phone acted crazy. But anyway, so yeah, you guys. So listen, I'm proof of evidence. I have been clean. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe the last time I used any drug was 2014. So what's that? It might be even 6 years. Might not even be as long as I think. It was 2014. So, like, used any kind of like cocaine substance in any kind of way, and I'm very proud of myself about that. I am. It was a long road, and it was very hard to overcome. It was very hard to hold on. Ugh. Make sure my head ain't cut off, but I did it. I did it, and I found other things to occupy my life and occupy my time. Um, Now, because of my incarceration, I was able to find my art again. But when I let go the drugs completely, I was able to find myself within my art. So, to all those who, are struggling with addiction, I tell you that you can get out. You know what I mean? Get the help that you need. You don't necessarily have to take my way. I needed therapy more than I needed NA, and it worked for me. But whatever road you need to take it. Take it, because it's a life of freedom on the other side, and I found it, and I'm grateful for it. Like, to live your life without chasing down this a drug is freedom. It's freedom all in itself. And I know the road it is. I recently encouraged 2 people to go to rehab, and that's kind of what made me really want to do this video, is understanding that the power of your testimony, and that it's possible to be able to overcome. All right, you guys. So I love each and every last one of my butterflies. If you know someone who this video can help, please send it to them. Please send it to them, and hopefully my story can help them. I am planning to write a book one day and to go even into more details in my book of my life when I was using. Because I did some things, y'all. I did some things to jeopardize myself, my life, my body. And, I can't say I regret it because it helped me become the woman that I am today. I can say that sometimes it's hard. It's hard to know the mistakes of your past, but it's important to forgive yourself. It's so important to forgive yourself, because without having a test, there is no testimony. And God put us on this earth for us to overcome, but to also turn around and be a light to someone else. Turn around and be a person who can show up and say that, yeah, I was down, but I didn't stay down. I chose to stand up and I chose to get my life back. All right, guys. So I love you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If this is your first time watching, I please ask you to become a part of become a part of the Butterfly Squad. And always know this from the bottom of my heart to yours, that everything in life is happening to you. It's not happening to you, but everything is happening for you, and it's happening for your greatness. All right, guys, listen, butterflies, squad up.